Today we look at the life and crimes of Raoul Moat. How did a bouncer end up leading police on the largest manhunt in modern British history, bringing out 160 armed officers, sniper teams and helicopters, even the dogs? They were not fucking about here. They called in a 10-man kill streak worth of backup. Raoul Moat was born on the 17th of June 1973 in good old Newcastle, and excuse my awful Geordie accent. He grew up in a place called Fenham, alongside his half-brother Angus. The pair of them were raised by their grandmother, with it being believed that Moat's biological mother had bipolar disorder. Moat had zero idea of who his real father was in his life. Moat's mum, Joseline Healy, kept Moat's secret from his dad, Peter Blake. He was only informed of his son after Moat's spree. This damaged family picture is what friends and family believe could have led Moat to his violent rampage. He was desperate to create the perfect family life that he never had, and when that was snatched away from him, he exploded. Living with their grandmother, Moat and his brother Angus were inseparable, with their grandmother being the stabilising influence in their lives. They lived a completely normal childhood and done things every other child would do. However, time changes and so do people. As they reached their early 20s, they grew apart. Moat became obsessed with weights and getting swole. Angus, however, was more academic and ended up going to university. It was the love for working out and being a unit that led him to getting a job as a bouncer, and this is where he met Samantha Stobart. She was young, blonde and pretty, and Raoul fell head over heels for her, eventually making it official, becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. Their relationship wasn't a healthy one, at all. Raoul was controlling and abusive of Samantha. Moat's brother Angus believes Moat had become hooked on steroids, which is to blame for his violent outbursts. Samantha's granny recalls seeing Moat throw her against the wall during one of his roid rage episodes, then being full of apologies shortly after they had worn off. Amidst all the fuckery, Samantha and Raoul had a child together, a daughter, and it would be Raoul assaulting his own daughter that would give Samantha the perfect opportunity to escape from him. While they had been broken up before his arrest, they were still on and off, hot and cold like any toxic couple are. This was a chance in her eyes to put some real distance between them. Moat, however, couldn't let it go, and when Samantha revealed to him, while in prison, that she'd met a new man, he did not take that news well. Christopher Brown had moved from the south of England to Newcastle to start a career as a karate instructor. This was where he met Samantha Stobart. The two started a relationship, and Samantha Stobart made sure that Moat knew all about her new relationship, letting him know all about her new man in letters sent to the prison, telling him that her new boyfriend was a police officer. This further fueled Moat's hate for the police. Moat's best friend, Tony Laidler, said he believed Moat had been unfairly harassed by the police during his time as a doorman, and that was something that contributed to his desperation and fueled a burning desire of hatred towards the police. This seemingly white lie told by Samantha would have devastating consequences. Moat could never have her with anyone else, never mind a police officer. While in prison, Moat planned his revenge on Stobart, calling up an old friend, Carol Ness. He tasked Carol to get a certain individual into prison to see him about a car with 6 wheels, and no, he wasn't a big fuck-off army-grade car, he was meaning a gun with 6 cartridges. Moat was released from Durham prison on Thursday the 1st of July. From here, Moat wasted no time in putting his plan into action. Upon being released from prison, he'd lost everything that he wanted so badly. The perfect family was gone, his girlfriend was with someone new, he had nothing left to lose in his eyes, and who was responsible for this to him? The police. Shortly after release, Ness supplied Moat with the car with 6 wheels, aka a shotgun, with 6 cartridges. The plan was becoming a scary reality. First on Moat's hit list was Christopher Brown, Samantha's new boyfriend. Him and Ness tried phoning up various sports centres in the Birtley area, even driving to different sports centres in an effort to spot Brown at his work as a karate instructor. Raoul Moat knew that there would be severe repercussions to his actions and prepared for going on the run from the police, picking up camping supplies from a local B&Q store. Eventually, their hunt for Chris Brown would be successful, finding him along with Samantha at a party to celebrate Samantha's mother's birthday in Birtley. This is when Moat put the plan into full reality that would lead to the 2010 Northumbria Manhunt. Moat lay in wait outside the party on Friday the 22nd of July alongside his shotgun. While they were inside, Moat could hear them. He texted Ness saying, They're all in this house, and I'm in the garden, slagging me off nice and proper. My suffering is so funny apparently. I'm gonna kick off nice and proper when they come out. Then we'll see who's laughing. And kick off he did. Samantha Stobart and Christopher Brown left the house in the early hours of the morning, and waiting for them was Moat. Without warning, he shot Christopher Brown, shooting him twice until he stumbled back onto the grass, where he put a third shot in him, killing him. Samantha legged it back into the house. From outside through the living room window, Moat opened fire, hitting her and inflicting critical, life-threatening injuries. Moat was now on the run, only being pictured once on CCTV, leaving a scene of carnage behind him. Shortly after the shooting on Saturday, Moat phoned up the police, seemingly declaring all at war with the police.
This is the gunman from Berkeley last night. My name is Raoul Moat. What I'm phoning about is to tell you exactly why I've done what I've done, right? Now, my girlfriend has been having an affair behind my back with one of your officers, this gentleman that I shot last night, the karate instructor, right? Now, you bastards have been on to me, right, for years. He's hassled us, harassed us, he has just won't leave us alone. I went straight 6 years ago when I met her, and I've tried my best to have a normal life, and you just won't let up. Well, I went to jail longer than I should have done for something I didn't do, right, which justify that in your own head, yes. Right? And meanwhile, while I'm doing that for my missus, she's having an affair with one of your officers. And I've had nothing but grief from her. I've had a good relationship with her for 6 years, which is why we've stayed together. And you police have took too much off me over the years. You won't leave alone. And now you think you can take your missus. Now, I didn't mean to shoot her like that, right?
Okay.
Right? He deserved it, right? But she, right, you can see from the ballistics I've been altering those cartridges, right? That one was only half the powder. It was only meant to get a compensation, because obviously I'm not going to be around in a few days, right? It was meant to just give her a little injury so she could get loads of compensation.
Okay.
And separate the bed. Now that I found out she's critical, I'm not happy about it. I didn't mean that. You know what I mean? I'm quite surprised she is critical. You know? But I didn't mean that. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not coming in alive. You have hassled me for so many years. Hey, come anywhere near me and I'll kill you. I've got 2 hostages at the minute, right? Come anywhere near me and I'll kill them as well. I'm coming to get you. I'm not on the run. I am coming to get you. There's been a lot of nonsense going on behind my back while I've been in jail. She's changed. She's not off changed. And every time I spoke to her and tried to be reasonable, she wouldn't let us anywhere near the bed.
Right.
She wouldn't go to the house. She wouldn't discuss anything. And she was threatening for one of your officers.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I've had enough. I've jailed made us unwell. I've came out with different kids. You know what I mean? I've lost everything through you. Right? Just won't leave us alone, right? So at the end of the day, you killed me and him before that trigger was ever pulled.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We are trying to help you, yeah.
You're not trying to help us. You wanted me to do myself in, and I was going to do it until I found out about him properly and what was going on. And as soon as I found out, I thought, no, you've had too much from me. You've had too much from me. You'll get your chance to kill us, right? You'll get your chance to kill us.
No,
okay?
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that.
You do wanted me to kill myself, but I'm going to give you a chance, because I am hunting for officers now.
Not long after, he would encounter a police officer, PC David Rathband. This, however, wouldn't be Moat's first run-in with PC Rathband. In March 2009, David pulled over a vehicle just on the outside of Newcastle. The driver was Raoul Moat. Things got heated between the pair and tension was high. However, no further action was taken after the stop. On the Sunday of the 4th of July, in the early hours of the morning, David Rathband had parked his car up, just outside Newcastle. David felt a tink on his glass. He turned to look, and Moat was waiting, with a shotgun to his face at point-blank range. Moat shot PC David Rathband twice, leaving him blind and left for dead. David, however, did not die. He survived the attack. His injuries, however, would forever haunt him for the rest of his life, and on the 29th of February 2012, David Rathband took his own life. This is what changed the investigation from a murder inquiry to a full-blown manhunt. Raoul Moat had just declared war with the police. Moat would phone the police again after shooting David Rathband, claiming responsibility for the shooting and gloating about it. He would tell police that he had 2 hostages with him. However, these were his 2 co-conspirators, Carol Ness and Kuram Awan. Moat was on the run and was going broke. It costs to live even when you're on the run. This led Moat to robbing a small chip shop on Monday the 6th of July in the town of Seaton, Delaval. The police identified the getaway vehicle driven by Awan in CCTV footage from the robbery and asked members of the public to get in touch if they'd seen it, and it didn't take long for someone to spot it and report it. The vehicle was found in Rothbury. This was the end for Moat and his crew. The net was closing around them, and the police captured Awar and Ness, leaving just Moat on the large in a small quaint town of Rothbury. Moat, while on the run, camped out in the sprawling acres of countryside surrounding Rothbury. Police quickly found one of Moat's campsites, however the gunman was gone and nowhere to be seen. Worryingly, left at this campsite was a phone, which contained voice recordings from Moat expressing his hatred towards the media who were condemning him at the time with what he thought were unfair damaging articles regarding his personal life. He vowed for every degrading piece of media that he's seen about him, a member of the public would die. This led to the media being banned from reporting on Moat's personal life. The urgency to find Moat had just been turned up to another notch. Footballing legend Paul Gascoigne even tried to help in the aid of catching Moat, saying, "Come on Moaty, it's Gaza, I've brought you chicken and lager." The pair had formed a friendship while Moat was working in Newcastle. This irresistible offer led to Moat coming and handing himself in. Nah, I'm joking, not really. Friday the 9th of July is when the net would close in on Raoul Moat for good. He was sighted on the outskirts of Rothbury in a forest where he'd laid low for a couple of days. Let's be honest, there's only so long a human can sit in a forest without getting bored. Armed police quickly surrounded Moat and a standoff ensued. 6 hours pass and police negotiators have got nowhere. This is when Moat's demeanour changed and police became more worried. At approximately 1 AM, Raoul Moat turned the gun on himself, shooting himself in the head, taking his own life, marking the end of the manhunt. Over £1.5 million were spent on the operation and 19 separate police forces involved. He truly gave the police a slick for the longest and let them know he was doing it, phoning them up basically saying, "Haha, you can't catch me." Now the case isn't completely over yet. Remember Moat's 2 accomplices? Well, they're guilty by association. I'm not totally sure if that's the legal term, but they still have to be brought to trial for helping Moat conduct his spree. At the beginning of 2011, both Anwar and Ness stood trial at Newcastle Crown Court. Carol Ness was given 3 life sentences, totaling him a minimum of 40 years for the murder of Christopher Brown, conspiracy to murder, and the attempted murder of PC David Rathband. His friend Kwaram Awar got 2 life sentences for conspiracy to murder and the attempted murder of PC David Rathband and will serve at least 20 years in jail. That wraps up the Northumbria Manhunt. That's how Raoul Moat ended up with seemingly the whole British police force on his ass. I hope you all enjoyed the video and thank you all so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on who you want me to cover next, then let me know in the comments. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.